For over 2,000 years, one question has divided scholars, believers, and skeptics alike. Did Jesus of Nazareth really exist? To some, he's the Son of God. To others, merely a symbol, a story told by men. But what if I told you that behind the layers of faith, there are cold, hard facts, written by historians, carved in stone, and preserved through centuries? Tonight, we uncover 5 historical evidences that prove Jesus of Nazareth was a real person. Not a myth, not a legend, but a man who walked this earth. This is not about faith. This is about history, evidence, and truth that science itself cannot ignore. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our deep historical explorations. And if you believe truth should be known, leave a like. It helps this video reach more seekers like you. Now let's travel back 2,000 years, to the time of the Roman Empire. Our first piece of evidence comes from one of Rome's most respected historians, Publius Cornelius Tacitus, and his monumental work Annals. Written around 116 AD, Tacitus describes Emperor Nero's persecution of Christians after the Great Fire of Rome that he writes, Christus, from whom the name Christian had its origin, suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of our procurators, Pontius Pilate. Tacitus was no Christian. He had no reason to defend or promote their faith. In fact, he viewed them with disdain. That's exactly what makes this record powerful. An independent, hostile source, confirming that a man named Christus, Jesus, was executed under Pontius Pilate. This Roman text stands as one of the most credible non-Christian confirmations of Jesus' death. Even Rome's greatest historians couldn't erase him from history. Next, we turn to the Jewish historian Flavius Josephus, a man who lived just decades after Jesus. In his work Antiquities of the Jews, written around 93 AD, Josephus makes direct reference to Jesus. He writes, Now there was about this time Jesus, a wise man, if indeed one ought to call him a man. For he was a doer of wonderful works, a teacher of such men as receive the truth with pleasure. Some scholars note that later Christian scribes may have added religious phrases, but the majority agree that the core of this passage is authentic. Josephus confirms, Jesus existed, he performed remarkable works, he was condemned by Pilate. Josephus was not a follower, he was a Jewish scholar under Roman rule, writing for a Roman audience. Yet even he couldn't deny Jesus' presence in the historical record. Our third source is perhaps the most surprising of all, the Babylonian Talmud, a collection of Jewish writings compiled between 200 and 500 AD. This text, often critical of Christianity, makes several references to a man called Yeshu. The Hebrew form of Jesus. One passage, Sanhedrin 43a, states, On the eve of Passover, Yeshu was hanged, for he has practiced sorcery and led Israel astray. While written from a hostile perspective, it's crucial to note what it admits. A man named Jesus existed. He performed acts seen as supernatural. He was executed near Passover. Even opponents of Christianity couldn't dismiss his existence. They simply explained him away. That alone is powerful historical validation. In 1961, archaeologists uncovered a limestone block in Caesarea Maritima, Israel. Carved into it were the Latin words, Pontius Pilate, prefect of Judea. This artifact, now known as the Pilate Stone, is the first physical proof of the Roman governor who ordered Jesus' crucifixion, confirming the historical framework of the Gospels. But that's not all. Archaeologists have also found ossuaries, coins, and inscriptions mentioning figures like Caiaphas, Herod, and other names linked directly to the New Testament narrative. Each discovery strengthens the case that the world described in the Bible wasn't myth. It was real, tangible, historical. Finally, the most direct evidence, the earliest Christian writings themselves. Long before the Gospels, around 50 AD, the Apostle Paul wrote letters, known today as the Pauline epistles, including Galatians and 1 Corinthians. These texts are undeniably ancient and universally accepted by historians. Paul writes of Jesus as a real man, crucified, buried, and resurrected, within 20 years of the events themselves. That's the same gap between today and the year 2005. Paul personally knew Jesus' brother, James, and met eyewitnesses of his life. These documents aren't mythology, they're contemporary testimony. From Roman senators to Jewish historians to physical stones buried in the earth, the evidence aligns. 5 independent sources. 5 converging trails that all lead to one conclusion. Jesus of Nazareth was real. Whether you believe he was divine or simply human history itself confirms, he lived, he taught, and he died under Pontius Pilate. Faith explains who he was. But history proves he was real. If you believe the truth should be known, leave a like and subscribe for more real historical investigations. And tell me in the comments, do you think Jesus was more than just a man?